Hey guys, welcome to the pre-show. Here we are. We've got a new microphone setup. We've got a Tascam TM80 microphones and a Tascam 4x4 mixer. So this is the inaugural session of getting this out and working with it. I'm wearing headphones just because I think they look cool on me. We're joined here by Chad, Amigo Chad, and guest Amigo Larry. And we're going to talk because it's the free show.
Yep.
So, Aaron, what did you do today?
We blew up a pool for the Luke, and we ate. That's effectively I will complain since I've got the floor.
Please do.
Larry here is a big fan of Master of Kung Fu.
What is that?
It's a comic book. It's an old comic book that no one cares about and hasn't cared about for years. Shang-Chi.
Hands of Shang-Chi.
So
that's the Marvel, yeah.
So I knew that the comic book store that we go to on occasion in Nitro has a bunch of these, and it's a pretty obscure book that nobody collects.
So it must be cheap, right?
One would assume. So when we get to the comic book store, nothing's cheap except for the things that aren't labeled. It's a classic thing that they do every time. That they don't have prices on their stuff. There's no one to ask.
You're talking about third floor comics.
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
And so Larry, who had a big wad of these comics, he was like, "Let's see this one, $10.
Right.
This one like $15." I was like, "Are you kidding me for these? This is who priced these? An insane man. There's an extra zero on them."
Right.
So
what is if you were going to guess, what is the going rate at a normal place for a book like that?
Well, not much.
Right.
This is a book that no one collects.
$1 and $5?
Yes.
Well,
Okay.
Well, I mean, maybe if the books were like really great looking.
Are we talking about graded books here, slabbed?
These are just bagged and boarded, stuck in a box.
Okay.
But I mean, you could probably expect maybe that if they were like really sharp looking. But I know the place and I know they weren't. So
right, and plus that their comic book prices are idiotic.
Yep.
In my opinion, when they do bother to price things.
And not to mention, I wasn't looking for actually a collectible. I was looking for a $3 to $5 reader,
something to read,
so I could actually go back and relive some youthful moments with one of my heroes from Marvel.
So I felt rather toolish to have taken him there, recommended it to him, taken him upstairs,
It was quite all right.
and then to be burned once again by this place that's burned me so often.
Why do you keep going back there?
I don't know. And then of course they had their those Odyssey games they got.
Yep.
Not priced. Now they're behind glass, so I can't even get to them anymore. Along with all the Saturn stuff, I'm not going to buy. So
you've got the Odyssey multi-cart, so
I know, but the boxes are cool.
They are cool.
Tim, you're never going to hear this, but you need to fix it.
Yeah.
You agree, huh?
Yep.
Okay, we don't always agree on this stuff, but too expensive, not priced.
And that's what it was. I actually pulled out of the box like 6 or 7 comics. 2 of them were priced. One was $10, one was $11, and the rest of them were.
It's just leaving money on the table.
So I just put them all back.
It happens every time I go there. I see something I want. There's no price, and there's no one to ask. And what really is disturbing is when you find something. There's a guy out there working. You're like, "Hey, how much is this gun for the Saturn?" All right, pretty simple question. There's no price on it. Call up the guy that runs it. Well, okay, I'll look it up on eBay. Add $5 to the price. Well, here you go. Well, that's not what I want to hear.
Right.
Even if that's how you price your stuff, I don't want to hear you say it.
How does he stay in business? What do you think he's selling a lot of to keep him there?
Well, he's got a lot of stuff up there.
Is this volume?
And he's the only one around that really sells it.
And of course, you also have to understand there's like a full antique shop there too. So they're selling all of that stuff that I don't.
But it basically works like the flea market, right? Like you rent like a corner of this antique place.
No, it's all his stuff.
It used to be like that, but
it's literally all his own stuff.
Oh wow!
So. Like he had a out on the table. He had a boxed Atari 2600. It was 4-switch 2600. Okay. Box is in pretty good shape, But I think he had it tagged for like $150 or something like that. It's just too much. It's just too much money for that, even with the box. No one's paying that, He had a Kiss poster. It was a frame poster, but the little plastic frames real flimsy. $50? Wait, what year is this? Who's paying that for a poster? It's ludicrous.
I just wonder, what is he able to sell? I mean, do you see people buying things as you walk?
He sells stuff on Facebook. I know they make money doing that.
Yeah, that's like.
Is he the guy that does those Facebook auctions?
That's right.
Oh yeah, and I told him like the last time I saw him, I was like, Tim, that's like genius because you're selling junk that you.
But people get excited about it because they get caught up in.
They do, and he fully admitted that this is like the overstock. I've been setting on this stuff for years. Things.
Right. Is this the guy that gave you that real expensive book, real cheap one time?
Yes. In fact, I've actually bought 2 books from him that I've gotten really good deals on. One was the first appearance of Doomsday, Man of Steel 17. I got it for $3 or something like that, and maybe something like that, and he might have had it priced at like $5. I don't remember, but I told him that I took it down. And I was like, oh, this should probably be priced more, and he just rang it up, and I was like, oh, I thought you would want to not sell it to me because it's just what it is. And I think I sold it like the same day for 45, kind of thing.
That's the problem with this guy. When you see him, like he knows me, he knows Chad. He's a real nice guy. He'll give you a good deal, but he's never there.
But if he's not there, well, you're out of luck.
Yeah. So that's comic book talk for the day. It was a bummer. So that's the way it goes.
So what I did today was we have an Asian market. It's kind of sort of close to us. It's beside of the Lost Legion, another comic store in South Charleston.
Overpriced board games and role playing equipment.
Correct. And so I guess that's the trend, overpriced gaming stuff in this area.
Well, once you know what the prices are for online things, everything in a brick and mortar store is going to seem overpriced.
Pretty much. So I went to this Asian market, and I've been basically my pantry, my refrigerator, my freezer looks like an Asian market because it's just full of Asian food. So I made a dish today it's a Japanese dish called okonomiyaki, and it's like this pancake kind of thing that's like with vegetables in it, and it means something like whatever you have basically, and essentially kind of what it means. But
it's kind of like the Japanese version of a pot pie.
Yeah, but it's like flat, but you you griddle it, and so in this case it had like cabbage and some ginger, and then I put some like bacon kind of thing on top of it, and then like some sauces and stuff, and so I brought him over earlier today, so it's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, I loved it. It was great.
Yeah.
So today, let's talk about the Amigos Studios East.
Okay, what do you want to talk about?
Well, there's a huge update. There are games in Amigos Studios East.
Oh yeah, that did happen this week. We put 3 pinball machines in the building. That's the update. Unfortunately, they're still up. There's no legs on them, and we haven't moved anything because it rained last night real heavy.
But they have made the journey from Brent's basement into Brent and Aaron's truck into the building.
I feel like we've liberated them.
Yeah,
it's like getting stuff out from under, like across the wall or something. It's like we made it.
Yeah, I saw the pictures of the WrestleMania one coming across. So.
Oh yeah, I saw those too. That was pretty.
I'll tell you, it was very excited to have more ready access to them.
Yeah, you and me both.
When I roll into town.
Considering I haven't touched, like I said, we were down there. I was looking at this, I was like, man, I remember this stuff. I forgot it was there.
Yeah, you're right. It was kind of like they were in North Korea or something.
Yeah. So, but
close and yet inaccessible, right?
But we spent about an hour and 10 minutes fooling with them, and got 3 down and the hardest ones because WWF Royal Rumble was a real big moose of a game.
I was not prepared for the size of that compared to the other.
And it's funny, the last one we moved, which was Mr. and Mrs. Pac-Man, it was so simple. It's just easy as pie.
It's probably because I left. You didn't have to deal with me.
It wasn't that. No, we hadn't had you for that first one. We'd have been boned. But we got some moved, and he's got everything else staged. And basically, as soon as we get down there, we can move the rest, and hopefully it'll go easier because we don't have any games as big as Royal Rumble.
So it's just physically bigger.
It's just it's a wide body.
Oh, okay.
And there was a period in pinball where people thought wide bodies were like the way to go, and so wide bodies, which is basically it's 1.5 times the size of a normal machine.
Oh wow!
And
some of them are good. The majority of wide bodies,
like Royal Rumble was pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not, but a lot of it makes them slow. It makes them play slower, and they're not popular.
A lot of the Atari pinball machines, like Superman, are wide body, and they are
Have you ever
so bored.
You ever played Hercules? It has a pool cue ball as the ball.
Oh.
It's massive.
It's
so
it's
huge.
Ultra wide body.
That's the gimmick though. It's like 10 times.
It's not a great game.
No, it's not. But it's unique to look at. You know. But yeah, so we got that moved. That's pretty much it. The building went very slowly, as everything else, the fence, everything else. But I'm hoping this week the fence will go up. We'll get the rest of the games in there. We'll see what we can do. Maybe even tomorrow I'm going to try to move some, but we'll see. I'm excited though about it.
So let's talk about what we've got on the docket for later on this evening. Aside from our Abdullah the Butcher matchathon on the network, we're going to watch all Abdullah all the time. We're gonna do some role playing tonight, right?
Possibly, if we can get to it. I've brought over some chill role playing games.
Do we need dice? Do we have dice?
Aaron's dice bag and everything is over here.
Okay, cool. Because what I need is I need a guy, because I didn't really know much about what all the dice were for. The guy at work told me. I asked him, I was like, well, what's a D4 for? He goes, just like for daggers and stuff. And I was like, man, I only want to roll a D4 like the whole time. I'm daggering only. So
you can do that tonight.
That's my plan.
You can be a dagger.
The game I picked out to bring over, we needed something quick and something I wasn't familiar with, and I knew that you guys hadn't played. And so I was talking to Larry about our various options, and what I went with was a game. Very old role-playing game called Chill.
Why don't you bring the book, Chad? Can you grab that?
Yep.
Yeah, it's just the top two books. Right. No, they're on the table there. Yeah, and then that's the hero book we'll be using for the sort. But I may not even use that. So Chill is a game that came out in the 80s that is a horror role-playing game where you take on the mantle of being a member of a group of investigators. Sort of like a hunting club, if you will, like a turn of the century.
Is it kind of like Ghost Adventures, the TV show?
No, it's not. This predates all that by a long shot. This is more like you remember how like in of course this could be crap, but I was always under the impression that in like the UK in like let's say the 1800s or the 1850s, where you'd have these gentlemen's clubs, and sometimes there'd be like a hunting club or safari club, something like that. This is basically one that hunts. Or attempts to photograph or obtain information about unknown stuff.
Okay, so it's set in like Victorian times?
It can be set in any time period, but that's the cool. General gist of it.
A Van Helsing club or something.
Yeah, like
so I brought a couple books here to try out. We'll probably play this one, but one here is called Chill, Haunter of the Moor. This has got 3 chill adventures in it that are based around werewolves, and it's really good. And then this one I picked up, and this is super rare. And this is when Chill got an endorsement from Elvira, if you can believe that. And there she is.
I can believe it.
In all of her glory. And it's this is a ton of just adventures with and she's not in any of the adventures. She just got photos in there, and she'll do a little gimmick at the beginning where she talks. Man,
you got some old notebook paper in there.
That's right. This is a pretty old one. I'm gonna see when this was published. It's all these books are old, and I've always had a soft spot for Chill. It's a game that didn't really catch on, like this picture of Elvira is from '85, so I'd say that's right around the same time the book was released. But this just has a bunch of just adventures in it. So that might be fun. I figured we'd give that a whirl. We both requested some role playing action tonight, and we never turned down that ever. No. So, and me and Larry have been in many campaigns together over the years, so. That'll be fun to play.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about something else while I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
I want to talk about Fire Pro Wrestling World.
Oh, yeah. Let's hear about this.
It's the bomb. It's the bomb. We played it last night and today.
Oh, yeah.
If you're not familiar with Fire Pro Wrestling, the series is a Japanese wrestling series. It's been around for like 1,000 years. It's been on like all the big systems. It's almost always from Japan. I think there was a PlayStation 2 release that was in English. But they just came out on Steam with Fire Pro Wrestling World in English. $20 get you in. You can the gimmick on Fire Pro Wrestling World is that you can effectively download any wrestler or creature or thing or comic book character, whatever you want, and wrestle with them.
So it's like the Mugen
It's the
thing.
yeah. We've got a referee that's a grizzly bear. We've got the Incredible Hulk. I've seen like Superman. All the superheroes are represented. Of course, all the Japanese wrestlers, all the American wrestlers, and it's only been out for like 4 days. And I bet there's 10,000 downloadable wrestlers right now.
Wow.
People go crazy. It's got a creator wrestler that's unparalleled.
You think Zeus is in there?
They're all there, man. You mean Zeus the wrestler?
What other Zeus is there?
Whether Zeus the god.
Oh, he pales in comparison to Zeus the wrestler.
I would bet there's not a guy. Abdullah's in it, complete with fork.
Oh yeah,
and
complete with hepatitis A or whatever.
Plus, you can play online. You can play I think you can play 8 simultaneous players. Wow. You got enough sticks. And you could have 8 wrestlers plus a ref in the ring at once for battle royals and stuff.
Now, what is the viewpoint? Is it like isometric or is it like superstars?
Picture a ring. It's like neither one of those really. It's
Is it like the N64 games? The N64.
No, it's not. This is a 2D game.
Oh, okay.
Picture looking at the wrestling ring from behind the post, like a diamond shape.
Right.
And it sort of scrolls. You know, it looks good. It looks like it's straight from the 90s. That's the point of Fire Pro Wrestling is it's in 2D. All the characters are hand drawn, and they look great. And they look like when you download the Undertaker or something like that. He looks like the Undertaker. He does Undertaker's moves.
Of the Undertaker? Do they have like young
hundreds.
Undertaker, old Undertaker?
They've got. When I tell you they've got everything, they've got it. If you looked yourself up, you're probably in there. Someone probably did you. So it's got everything.
That's cool. So there's something that we were talking about on Thursday, a wrestling related thing that's slightly less cool.
Yeah.
The show Glow.
Yeah.
On Netflix. Have you watched it?
I have not yet.
Okay.
Did you finish it yet?
No, I just watched the 3 episodes. You said you finished it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
So is it a documentary or is it a?
It's neat. It's not. It's a dramedy. If you've ever seen Orange Is the New Black, have you ever seen that?
Yes.
Same people make it. It's sort of a.
Except instead of being in prison, they're a women's wrestling league.
Well, Glow was a wrestling promotion in the 80s. It was on about the same time that American Gladiators was getting real popular.
Yeah, I didn't know about that. And it
was a horrible show with sort of hot chicks that sort of kind of wrestled, but mostly acted like goofs, and it was real.
Kind of like Divas now.
No, it's much, much, much worse than that. Think the worst wrestling girl you ever saw, and she would be 10 times better than the best chick they got. So basically, it was made up of like aspiring actresses and sports models and stuff like that. So anyway, it was a real thing, and it was on for a couple seasons, and it gained some notoriety, and it was pretty popular syndication. The show is a show about everything that led up to the show to making Glow. Mm-hmm. It's sort of loosely based on Glow, the actual promotion. It's got a lot of.
Are there any wrestler cameos in it?
There are tons, and plus there's an actual wrestler that plays one of the girls. Awesome Kong plays the welfare queen on the show, and
is that her full stage name?
Yeah.
Awesome Kong, the welfare queen.
No, her name's not Awesome Kong. That's her name outside the show.
That's confusing.
On the show, she's called the welfare queen.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Johnny Mundo is in one episode. Carlito's in an episode. Tyrus is in an episode. Joey Ryan's in an episode. Christopher Daniel, Fallen Angel is in one, just for little cameos. But the show it's one of those.
Did you say Chris Angel?
Christopher Daniel's the Chris Fallen Angel. If Chris Angel, that would bring a little more star power to the show. But the show's a little bit too much yah girl power for me. It's you
don't strike me as a yah girl power kind of guy.
Well, I don't mind empowerment of somebody, but
it's not written for you.
Well, I do like the sleazy director. I do like him. He does a good job. He's the best character they've got.
Yeah, I would agree from what I've seen so far.
But really, that's another thing. I don't really necessarily like the characters that much, but I don't think they're not the least bit realistic. That's for sure.
Yeah, it stars Brie Olson, who was on Community. If you ever watched the show.
Which one was she?
She was the really nice one with the brownish.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, that's
so she's a wrestler now.
Yeah,
she's the most unrealistic character on the show.
Yeah,
by far. Yeah. And this show has a chick that thinks she's a wolf.
How much of this show is actual wrestling? Like
No,
in the match, in the ring?
I've watched 3 episodes and there's been no wrestling at all.
Well, most of the show is them trying to learn how to wrestle.
Oh, okay.
And I will say they treat learning it with a certain amount of respect. I don't have a problem with that. They don't belittle the sport,
Right?
or the event, or the spectacle, whatever you want to call
Sports entertainment.
Yeah, but again, it just to
We
me,
make movies.
and there's a later episode that just has this event that's stuck in it, and I was just like, it was so traumatic and nasty, and they treat it sort of like almost like a offhanded way, and I was just like, what the hell is that?
Is Malenko in there?
Who?
Malenko?
What made you think he was in there?
Didn't he run a wrestling training school?
Where's the connection here, Boat?
I thought maybe all the girls went to Malenko's training school.
Why would you think that?
Because you said that the show is them learning.
Yeah, but of all the hundreds of thousands of wrestlers that have ever taught wrestling, where did you come up with that one guy's name? I'm not gonna let you off the hook on this one, because you just occasionally come up with these weird comments, and I just look at you and go, "You're an idiot." But this time, I want to hear the reasoning behind your physically saying
So
that.
my cousin was married to Johnny Boone, one-time WCW referee,
Right?
and sometimes wrestler. And I guess he used to train with Malenko down in Tampa Bay.
Yep.
At his school.
They are,
and so I just figured, how many wrestling teaching centers can there be?
Are they in Florida too? The show, is that where they're at? I don't remember.
For some reason, I thought they were in New York or up north somewhere, but I don't know. That's a good point. I don't know where they're at.
I think they might be in.
I don't know.
But anyway, that's. Yeah.
I mean, it's a half-hour show. That takes 8-10 episodes.
Yeah, something like that. It's
an easy watch. The only reason I finished it up was it's easy. It has its moments. There's a couple moments I thought were amusing, but it's not something I'd be like, oh, good God. I mean, there's a lot of good TV out there, and this isn't one I'd put highly on the list. Let's put it that way.
Well, since we've got Larry here, Larry, do you have any experience with the Amiga?
No, none whatsoever. We talked about this earlier. You know, I had a Texas Instrument, 99?
TI 994A.
And then, we were talking
or
about.
As I like to call
we used
it,
to play
paperweight.
text adventure games.
Yeah.
And right before, Zork, started moving more towards modern adventure games slowly. But went from that to, I think, probably just Nintendo. I think I'd,
skip that whole generation by. Yeah. Well, you're not alone. The amount of people that have Amiga experience is slim, and especially in this area of the country.
Now, what would you say your favorite video game is of all time?
Of all time, either Street Fighter 2 Turbo, or I really like the Assassin's Creed games. The earlier, Ezio Auditore is probably my favorite character so far. Either that or Connor. Assassin's Creed 3, but right now I'm playing a lot of Witcher 3, and it's kind of like Fable meets Skyrim.
Oh yeah, it's with a lot of nudity.
With a lot of definitely do not let your kids be in the room for this game. I'm just saying, if you've got them, no entry for this.
That's what's happened with John got me a game Persona 5 for it's a PlayStation game, and I have to play it at night because it's like the most profane game ever. It's like a
corrupt child's mind with my game choices.
It's like all the dialogue is said by Jay and Silent Bob kind of thing. I mean, so
hilarious.
Yeah, that's just a fun game though.
Well, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. This has been kind of a different pre-show. We figured we'd do something special,
freeform,
because last night was my birthday. Getting to play some role-playing games is my birthday gift. We hardly ever get to
tell the audience how old you are, Boat.
I am 36 years old, so
you're not that much younger than me, Boat.
No, just a decade.
Yeah.
Oh, don't say it like that.
Yeah, and of course yesterday, French Independence Day.
Yeah,
in France.
Laurent Giroux, you live in Canada, but in my mind, you still live in France, and so I always think of you when I see the Bastille.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
No.
Oh. that was kind of moving for a second there. Hey, I've got a question about France.
Okay,
I
can answer it.
Do you remember Terrence Trent D'Arby?
Isn't that Triple H's first name, or wasn't that?
No, it's not a wrestler. It's a singer. Anybody here remember Terrence Trent D'Arby?
I don't.
All right, for you listening, let me know if that guy's French.
That sounds Darby, though. Definitely.
It's
doesn't
D
sound-
with a little thing, Arby.
sound-
Darby.
Sounds like
Northern Ireland.
yeah.
I
it's
was
like
watching.
Darby O'Gill.
I was watching a video
The
today
little people.
from
Was it?
Wishingwell,
It's like the basis.
and
from
he was
Smashing
reading a
Pumpkins.
French newspaper in it, and I was like, I bet this guy's French. So if anyone over there, if like Terrence Trent D'Arby went on to be a big deal somewhere,
Y'all don't remember like
Let me know.
Sign Your Name.
I remember that. Who sang that?
Sing that.
That's Terrence
That's
Trent
Terrence
D'Arby.
Trent D'Arby.
One and the same.
All right, fair enough. That's always better than Wishingwell.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No, that's all I got. Good
All
luck.
right.
Good luck to French.
All right, guys. We'll see you on the show. Till then.
Adios.
Adios.